You better be training your ass off, because I'm coming for you, and I'm knocking you out. You're going down. I know you're training hard. I respect you as an athlete, but I'm going to knock you out. See you soon.
How the devil are you? So I haven't done a video on Eddie and Thor for a while, and the simple reason is I just haven't got enough material to work with. They've been relatively quiet compared to what they used to be, and it's probably because they don't want to give too much away now, getting this close to the fight, so they're not posting as much as they used to. But I think I have got enough material now over what they've been doing over the last few months to make a video, so here I am. And let's start with Eddie. So over the last few months, Eddie's got a new sparring partner, training partner, whatever you want to call it. He's 6'10". He's an amateur boxer. By all accounts, he's pretty good for the level he's at. Very good choice by Eddie. A good height. He's a decent boxer. And he can also box southpaw as well as orthodox, which is obviously he needs him to box southpaw, which is really, really good. But what I liked about what Eddie's done is the fact that he's paying this kid a weekly wage. How good is that? He said to him, "You give up your job and come and work for me, and I'll pay you to train." Now, I think that's very admirable to do that. And Eddie said in the video that when he introduced this guy, Josh, he said that when he was younger, someone did the same thing for him to become world's strongest man. So Eddie sees some talent in the guy, and I think it's, again, like I said, it's very admirable that he's done this, you know, paying him a wage, giving someone a chance to actually train properly, because it's very, very hard when you've got a full-time job and other commitments. Look, I did martial arts and I boxed as well, but I've sort of really committed to martial arts quite a lot over the years, and I represented my country and things like that. You know, I did pretty good, but I never reached like really high levels. And one is because I could be crap, but two, I don't think that I just couldn't fit enough time in, didn't have enough hours in the day to be able to commit to it. Because you think about it, you're training really, really hard for an event or a competition. And in the meantime, you've got kids to look after, a house to run, you've got a job to do. And I used to do a lot of manual labour. So it was very difficult. I was completely wiped out and shattered all the time. So it's really, really good what Eddie's done. It gives this kid more time to focus on his training and rest in between the training. Fantastic, really, really good. So he's been doing a few sparring sessions. You know, he hasn't shown much, but he's been doing a few sparring sessions with this guy, Josh. Josh is fighting southpaw for him, and he freely admits that Josh probably beats him up a little bit. He said he's got a couple of black eyes and things. But it's a really good experience for Eddie Hall. So that's really, really good. And also he did a bit of a training session with Lawrence Okolie. He's the WBO Cruiserweight World Champion and a very, very decent boxer and an all-round nice guy. But what I found funny is that when they were training, Lawrence Okolie had a body bag on, and he was hitting him that hard, and he was hitting Lawrence Okolie that hard. He said, I need to get a thicker body bag. I had to put a thicker one on. So what it does show that, look, I'm not saying Eddie's a great boxer. You know, he isn't the best boxer in the world. He's got a lot to learn. He's only been boxing a year properly anyway, and so is Thor. So, look, he's not a great boxer, but he does have a punch on him. You can't deny that. A lot of people saying his footage is sped up, etc., etc. But for Lawrence Okolie to say, hang on a minute, mate, you're hurting me here. You know, it shows he does have a good punch, or Thor needs to look out for that punch. So, yeah, so that's sort of brings Eddie Hall up to date at the moment. He hasn't been saying much about the boxing of the last few weeks because of the World's Strongest Man. He's been covering that a lot, so he's been doing that. And then we go on to Thor. So Thor recently had his second exhibition bout. And it's a bit weird, really, because on the first exhibition bout, it was kind of advertised as a proper fight. You know, it had the billboards and the, you know, the advertising and everything. It's going to show it free, live stream it on YouTube and things like that. It was really well advertised. But this one was kind of kept under the radar a little bit, which I found was odd. He just didn't really want people to know much about it. So anyway, so I watched the fight, and I got to say, I wasn't overly impressed. I thought he would have improved a little bit more. I didn't see any massive leaps in improvement since the last exhibition bout. You know, from my point of view, I thought that he was, you know, flailing the arms a little bit again, which he was doing in the first fight. He's also, when he's throwing the jab, he's bringing it back here, leaving himself open, and he got caught a couple of times because of that. He was caught with a left hook, almost went over, and the guy he was fighting, Simon Vallily, kind of held back because he was probably told, don't knock him out, don't do this, it's just an exhibition, don't. So he held off, and he caught him and just stepped back a little bit, went, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, whoops. But he caught him flush on the chin, and there was a second kind of knockdown. But I've looked at it. I've looked at it in slow mo, and the ref was right. It wasn't really a knockdown. I think he just skimmed his chin. But again, it was from that left hook, because the arm, his right arm was a bit too low, and he got that left hook around over the top. And then Thor went back and stumbled over his legs a little bit. Although, you know, we all put pictures up of Thor on the floor. Try saying that. Thor on the floor. Thor on the floor. Say that fast. I dare you. So everyone's showing pictures of that because it makes you go, oh, Thor got knocked out. But he wasn't really. He just fell over his feet. But there we are. He was tying up really well when he was close up, which he needs to do. I think he needs to tie Eddie Hall up. You don't want Eddie coming in with body punches when you're in close. So he was getting under the armpit, going around the neck, and leaning on, using his weight on the top. So that was a good thing. But I just think that rather than flailing your arms, Thor's got arms as long as lampposts, right, and twice as thick. I really think he should be working on the old 1-2. Just jab, really get that piston-like jab. I said that about the last fight he did. He needs to have that jab, piston-like, working on that. And then the old 1-2, bam, bam, right down the pipe. 1-2, 1-2. Just throwing his right jab. I got to think, because he's southpaw. Throwing his right jab and coming across with a left cross. Okay, right down the pipe. Ba-bang, ba-bang. Just, he needs to focus on that jab. Imagine having that arm, and that long, big arm, jabbing him in the face for a few rounds. It won't be nice. So he really needs to focus on the jab, stepping in with it so he gets the distance as well. So, I'm not saying he shouldn't do any hooks, but his hooks are just like, just nothing hooks. It doesn't seem like there's any power in them at all. You know, I really think he should work on his jab and his left cross, really, right down the pipe. Okay, straight into Eddie Hall's mush. So what do I think about the two fighters? Well, it's really hard to call. I don't think they're going to make any massive improvements over the next couple of months. It's not far away. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible. But, you know, and I know I'm British, and everyone's going to say, oh, you're biased because you're British. But here's the thing. I just think Eddie has a little bit more of a chance, personally. After seeing the two exhibition bouts, I just, you know, it's not that I'm biased towards one or the other. I really respect Thor. Loved him as a strongman, you know, and got a lot of respect for him for a strongman athlete. Fantastic athlete there. But I just think that Eddie's got more of a puncher's chance if he can land it. If Thor can keep him off, you might get a win on points, possibly, if he can work on that jab a little bit more. But if Eddie catches him in one of them punches, and he can punch, no people saying his footage is sped up and things like that, but he can hit. They're powerful. They might not be the most sort of, you know, perfect, but they're powerful and they hurt. So I just think that Eddie has that bit of an edge where it comes to, he's got a little bit more powerful punch. And if he catches Thor with it, like if Thor keeps his arm down and he comes around with that hook, bop, right on the chin and could take him down, I don't know. But then again, Eddie's guilty of dropping his hands as well. And look, you can make as much excuses as you want for dropping your hands, but unless you're a top boxer, a lot of boxers do fight with their hands low, but they got good movement and good head movement where they can move it in the way of the punch if it comes at them, and they can move back to the side. These guys can't. They can't afford to have their hands down, in my opinion, anyway. So anyway, that just about rounds it up for this now. Obviously, it's not long away, another 2 months, 3 months away. So I'm still looking forward to it. It should be quite fun to watch. Really like to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll see you in the next video.